Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stands. I'm Mark Goldbridge and a bonus 8 PM show tonight. It's been a great day for Manchester United, hasn't it? We're looking at that league table. We're in 4th place. We're reeling in Aston Villa. We're reeling in Man City, and we're saying goodbye to Liverpool and Chelsea. In some sense, they're still where they were before, but it's a very, very good Sunday. A super Sunday for Manchester United. A late winner from Sesko. A big result against a decent Fulham side. Respect. But tomorrow is the January transfer deadline day. Even though it's not January, Man United have got 24 hours to act. And I'm still going to say this. Proud of the protests today and everyone who got involved. Incredible work. That is the message that needs to keep going. The regime is shit. The players, the manager got the job done today. But imagine how better that job would have been when we took Casemiro off at 2-0 and we brought a decent midfielder on and we just cruised through. Is that not a warning sign of how perilously close we came to losing the win we deserved because we don't have the squad we deserve, Carrick deserves, and those first team players deserve. So, look, I think that there's 24 hours to go. Let's see what Manchester United can do. Ndidi, look, funnily enough, he'll probably, hopefully, put in an absolute stinker on Saturday. But Conor Gallagher was absolutely amazing in the second half for Spurs today. And, look, I get it. I know what Terry said. I know what you've said. I know what me and Marlo have said. I'm not changing my mind. There was a midfielder available that would be better than Agate, that would give us the cover we need until the end of the season, and then the ability to bring in Elliot Anderson. I would be more than happy next season with Elliot Anderson, Bruno Fernandes, Mainoo, Conor Gallagher, and another signing. Because Agate and Casemiro need to go. So I would have brought Conor Gallagher in and then got 2 midfielders in the summer. Imagine if we got like Baleba and Anderson in the summer. You've got Mainoo, Bruno, Conor Gallagher. Like, people forget, Agate's got to go. Casemiro is going to go. Next season, our midfield is Mainoo and Bruno. That's it. That's it. But look, we can't do anything about that. I thought he was really good. Ndidi is a possibility. We'll give you the latest on that. Ruben Neves was a possibility. But it looks like United aren't going to do anything. And I think it's harsh on Michael Carrick. You know, Michael Carrick deserves a lot of credit for 3 wins. The players, Cunha, Ahmad, Bruno, Mainoo, and Martinez, standout players today. Like, they deserve credit. But what are we asking them to do over the next few weeks? Like, what are we asking them to do? Are we asking them to do the impossible? Like, what you might not have realised about that league table today is that Aston Villa, it's great news for us. It's brilliant news for us, right? Aston Villa looked out of sight. They're 5 points ahead of us in 3rd place. We've got to play Aston Villa at Old Trafford in a few weeks' time. And you might look at that and go, how have Villa lost to Brentford when they were down to 10 men for 45 minutes? But then you look at the Aston Villa team and you go, Tielemans is out for months. Kamara's out for the season. McGinn's out for months. Watkins is injured. That whole midfield's been wiped out. And you go, they'll do well to get the top 5 now. I know they've got 5 points on us at the moment, and they've got 6 points on Chelsea, and they've got 7 points on Liverpool. They'll do well to get in the top 5 now because their midfield's dead. They've got no midfield. And I'm looking at Spurs today against Man City. Kudos basically out for the season. Bentancur out for the season. Bergvall virtually out for the season. And you go, hold on a minute. I mean, we're not worried about Spurs. Where are Spurs? Like, where's Wally? They're not even there. Bring them on Saturday, 3 points. But the point is, we can sit there and go, whoa, Villa. What have we got if we lose 1 midfielder? I'm looking at Villa and I'm going, McGinn, Kamara, Tielemans, all out injured. Anana's been out injured as well. We lose Casemiro, we're done. We're out. As Terp says, we are 1 Casemiro injury away from implosion. And let's not forget, Chelsea and Liverpool ain't going to go anywhere. They're going to be relentless. So what are we saying here? We're just going to hope Villa drop and then we just limp over the line. That's not what we should be doing here. That's not what we should be doing here. We should be going and getting that midfielder because things... I mean, what if Casemiro and Mainoo get injured? I'm not joking, like, you saw what happened when Casemiro went off today. And Casemiro's not the guy he was years ago. I mean, this is just a decent midfielder doing a decent job. You lose Casemiro, we're a mess. You lose Mainoo, we're an even bigger mess. I mean, Mount, you can't rely on him. He wasn't even on the bench today. What would we do in the midfield? Put Mazraoui in there? So, look, I feel for Michael Carrick, but I feel more for us because that was close today. That was close, and I'm not having any luck. There's no luck attached to it. Fulham played really, really well, but the reason we have Bruno Fernandes and the reason we have Cunha and the reason we spent £68 million on Sesko is the reason we won that game 3-2. That's the quality that Fulham don't have. They've got bloody Raul Jimenez up front. So Fulham played really well, but I don't think they ever did enough to win the game. We won the game in regulation time, and we should be great. We should be happy with the 3 points. However, it's a thin line. There's a thin line when you drop off, and I find it absolutely stunning, I'll repeat it, that our board are sat there with all this knowledge that everyone else has got and going, we're fine. You're not fucking fine, are you? I'm hoping, like everybody else, we're going to be fine. But I wouldn't run a football club like that. You wouldn't run a football club like that. To sit there and go, we're going to be fine. I mean, can you control the fact that we might play Newcastle? Joel Linton might clear out Mainoo and put him out for the season? Can you control that Casemiro might sprint back and do his hamstring? You can't control those things. This is not how you run a football club. This is bloody... should be sponsored by Bet Casino or whatever like that. It's gambling. It's pure and utter gambling. You cannot tell me that Casemiro and Mainoo are going to be able to play every minute of every game until now, the end of the season. Yeah, it helps that we're not in Europe, but this is dangerous. And I'm saying it now, and hopefully we won't say it again. But there is 24 hours left in the transfer window, and it's shit. It's really shit on Michael Carrick, on this squad, and on us as fans that were run by these morons, because the evidence is there. Look at Aston Villa, look at Spurs, look at Liverpool, look at Man City's defence. There are many examples of teams in the Premier League this season that have been decimated in injuries to the point where they lose their whole back four, or they lose their whole midfield, or they lose their attack. And we're going to sit there and go, we're fine. I don't think we are fine. I don't think we're fine at all. I think we're not fine. And I loved that result today. And I want to talk about that league table. But I'm in the position now where I'm going to say some words I never thought I was going to say. Sign Ndidi tomorrow. Just give me something. Give us something that if that happens to Mainoo or Casemiro, that person can also play. Because this is dangerous, what we're about to do. And I tell you what, I think there's going to be a lot of walls getting punched if we lose points because they didn't do anything in this transfer window. And that's what worries me, is that the Agate substitution today was just an absolute 4K moment of this is a problem. This is a big problem. So I'm not taking the shine off the result. This has got nothing to do with Michael Carrick. Amazing job. 3 wins in a row. Some people said he was a bit lucky today. Bollocks. It's a win. It's in front of the Stretford end. It's Man United. It's Fergie time. It's quality. That's why you've got Bruno on the pitch. That's why you've got Sesko up front. That's what we do, and that was great to see. Leon last season, we've done it so many times. I love it. You can't argue with that. I'm sure Fulham feel a little bit hard done by, but ultimately that's the quality you pay for at Manchester United. But I'll back managers and I'll back players when I feel that they're being hands tied behind their back. And I think Michael Carrick's hands are tied behind his back here. It's poor. I said the same about Amorim. It's poor. Doesn't matter whether Gareth Southgate's in charge of the team. That team needs signings. We can't sweep that under the carpet because he's an interim. We can't say, oh, Amorim was shit and he didn't deserve signings, because he did. And we can't say if Gareth Southgate was the coach, he's a knobhead, but he shouldn't get signings. The reality is that team needs signings in the midfield, and to leave it is scary. Now, what I'm being told is that it's unlikely that something's going to happen tomorrow. That's what I was told about half an hour ago. It's unlikely United are going to do anything tomorrow. I find that incredible, but apparently it is unlikely. So look, we'll have to wait and see, but unlikely United do anything tomorrow. And that is a risk. And I will say this at the end of the season. If we get Champions League football, fair play to the players and fair play to Michael Carrick and his coaching staff. But there's going to be a huge element of luck there, which they deserve, but we shouldn't need if we were run like we should be, because we shouldn't be relying on that look. We really, really shouldn't. Mojo's gifted 10 memberships. You're a legend. Gregory Burke says, we need players. It's not complicated. Keep it simple. Get someone in. Support Carrick and the lads. Yes, welcome to the Ndidi party, Mark, says Keel. If we drop off because of injuries, the blame is squarely on the board and the owners. We need reinforcement. The owners have no desire to be successful, says Tony. Well, I don't know how the season runs. There's a lot of people saying, well, we've only got one game a week. We might get away with it. I think you're right. However, there is a double game, isn't there? There's Spurs on Saturday and then West Ham on Tuesday. So, I mean, there is a couple of times where we've got that. Sanderberg is the kind of no-nonsense DM we need. Look, I'm going to say this as well. I'm feeling in an honest, happy mood. So thank you, 16 Che. I would like to apologise to Sanderberg. I would like to apologise to everybody that said we should sign Sanderberg. Sometimes I'm wrong. And I think he would have done a decent job for us, comparable to what we've got. I'm not saying he would have been a starter, but I like what he does. I do. I like what he does. He gets the ball and he plays the ball. He's a good passer of the ball and he's physical. He's good in the air. I'm not saying he's a Casemiro replacement. We do need somebody who's good in the air because it's incredible to have a CDM who can win headers like that. I mean, that is going to be a loss next season. And I don't know how you replace that because Elliot Anderson, Carlos Baleba and Adam Wharton are not that. He's brilliant in the air, Casemiro. But I you know what? It's not the Fulham stand, but I've got a huge amount of respect for Marco Silva and that Fulham team. And maybe it's because we beat them, but they did play better than us at times. Like, they did. And that's fine. Like, we're not actually a very good possession-based team. We never have been, really. We can move the ball around quickly and we can counter quickly, but I thought Fulham's possession game was very impressive. And a lot of that was to do with Sanderberg, Wilson, Iwobi, their defenders. They did really well. They did really well. And I am being a bit condescending because they're not at our level, but they did do really well. And Sanderberg, to be fair, some of you did talk about him a couple of years ago and I laughed at it. And, well, you know, he did do a good job. He's definitely... I think it was Agate as well. And to be honest, I haven't got a leg to bloody stand on. Keep Casemiro, please. No, Sully. No, we're not doing that. It's time to move on. Remember, you said Agate is better than Sanderberg. Ah, Rory, sit down. I'll sit down. I'll sit. I'd already done it before I read your chat. Not bad. I've already done it. I'm the winner. I've already apologised and acknowledged it. So there we go. Mojo's gifted another 5 memberships. Thank you very much, Mojo. Rory, I'm only messing with you. Difficult to take like King Kong's finger in a prostate exam. Take a bite. I forgot I'd said that, Nevster. Come on, United, what a game. And I'm tell you what, I'm glad. All I remember about that Fulham goal was, I think I walked over to the door and said, who's that? Who's that? I mean, it was a bloody good goal. I'm glad it wasn't I'm glad that wasn't the last goal of the game, but it was a good goal. Daniel Thompson, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much. AMG was at the game today. What a feeling. Almost an out-of-body experience in the 95th minute. Let's see how high we can finish this season. And I'm glad you enjoyed it, mate, AMG. A loan, for God's sake, a bloody loan. That's all then. 3 midfielders, Anderson, Water or Baleba or Gomez and Berger's backup. Gomez is gone, Desiree. He's gone to Wolves. Charlie says, it's really sad as a fan base. We have to accept Ndidi as a good signing. These owners have let our standards drop so much. It's absolutely gutting. And Arthur said, would you take Fred back on a 6-month loan? Love the channel and the consistency. Look, I feel tomorrow something's going to happen. I'm being told it's highly unlikely, but I'm just hoping that you can't have that many morons in a room, can you? There can't be that many morons in a room. There's got to have been a conversation in that boardroom about the January transfer window as it ticks away. And you're telling me that Omar Barada, Jason Wilcox, Christopher Vaval, Sir Jim Radcliffe, Michael Carrick, and whoever else is in that room has all sat there and gone, yeah, we don't need to do anything. We'll be absolutely fine. So Jim, have you seen Villa? They haven't got any midfielders for the rest of the season. Have you seen Spurs? Have you seen what happened to Man City when we played them? They had no defenders at all. Yeah, but at the end of the day, that's just bad luck. I just can't believe anybody would sit there and go, well, what I would say is, even if I didn't think it was a good idea, I'd say, well, let's just be careful. Let's just make sure. I don't think it's going to happen. But it's like having a fire extinguisher in your kitchen, isn't it? I don't think it's going to catch fire, but if it does, we can put it out. But Man United, you can smell burning And they're still not buying the fire extinguisher. Now that burning might be nothing. Might be next door. Someone might be having a fire in their garden. But it actually might be a fire in the house and we're still not going to buy a fire extinguisher. It's scary that... But obviously, I don't think everyone in the room is a moron. I just think the decision maker is. So whoever has said no is responsible and the board are cowards. But I don't think for 1 minute Michael Carrick hasn't said, go and get me a midfielder, because I actually know for a fact that one midfielder we spoke to was a suggestion from Michael Carrick. And the story will come out probably this week, when the window is closed, unfortunately, but it will come out. I also know for a fact that we were talking to Conor Gallagher in December, and he ended up going to Spurs. So we have had conversations with midfielders, which I know for a fact on 2 of those stories we did. Which makes it doubly frustrating when you know that we have had conversations. So they're not all morons. They have actually had conversations about it, but they haven't done it. But there's 24 hours. As I said, are they all just going to sit there tonight watching Match of the Day, or is somebody actually going, look at the Spurs situation, look at the Villa situation, look at the Man City situation. There's a lot of people getting injured. Maybe that could happen to us. It happened with Dorgu. What happens if it happens in the midfield? Mark, they're either idiots or finances must be diabolical beyond comprehension behind the scenes, says Kaya. Well, they're not, because we had the money for Semenyo, didn't we? Today was the first time in a long time when the equaliser went in that I thought we can win this. The board needs to act to keep this up, says Dylan. Thoughts on PRV right now? Lots to do, but great wins. What's PRV? He said. PRV. I don't know what that is. There must be a midfielder in Europe they can get. Surely they know what about someone from Germany, says Midri. And hi, Mark. Next Tuesday, I'm shaving my head at college for cancer. Hopefully, Man United deliver against West Ham, so I shave with the 5 in a row guy, says Neo. That would be good. Well done. Well done for doing that. Performance results vision. Oh, my PRV. So... yeah, we haven't spoken about PRV for a long time, have we? So much so that I'd forgotten about it. So I think with PRV, well, let's bring the league table into it. So Arsenal are going to win the league. We're not closing a 12-point gap. Shut up. Man City, 6 points. We could do that. Probably won't, but we could. Villa, 5 points with their midfield. I think we're going to do that. The positive for me today, yesterday I was thinking, oh, for God's sake, Liverpool actually look like they might be bouncing back. Chelsea have got a good run of fixtures, and I'm like, oh my God, it's 3 teams going for 2 spots. Today, we win, most important thing. Man City drop points, and you think, maybe. Villa drop points, you look at their injuries, and you go, that's another spot. I think there are 3 Champions League spots for 4 teams. And as things stand today, I think Villa will drop out. And I think most Villa fans think it as well. I think they know they're going to probably drop out and they've got to choose between Thursday night football and the league. They'll probably choose Thursday night and then they'll lose even more games in the league. So it's looking great for us if Villa drop out, because then Man United, Chelsea and Liverpool can all be in the top 5 as well. So it's looking good. However, I'm not going to repeat myself. If we get the injuries Villa have got, we could be in the shit as well. So we've got to be a bit wary of that. But it's a brilliant day for us, because I think the big takeaway for me, I expected us to beat Fulham. I expected it to be a little bit more comfortable. Fair play to Fulham. As I said, they were good. I expected Liverpool to drop points last night. They didn't. I expected Chelsea to win. They nearly didn't, but they did. So all in all, it was the weekend I thought it was going to be. But the Villa result is the result for us, because it's bringing in another team into the top 5 race, and that opens up another spot. So instead of 2, there's 3, which is really, really positive for us. So very, very good. PRV is performance, result and vision. And when Amorim was in charge, I said, we're getting results, we're not really getting performance, and we're not getting a vision. And I think for fans, you always want performance, results and vision. And if you're not getting, you've got to get results. And we weren't always getting results under Amorim. And where we are now, with Michael Carrick, I can't see the vision. I can't give you vision. I can't give you vision because I don't know whether he's going to be here next season. I don't know what players are going to be here next season. And I don't know who we're going to sign in the summer. So the vision is hard. And that's not a criticism of Carrick. It's hard to see the vision because as an interim coach, he's simplifying things. People are playing for the manager. We won't know the vision unless Carrick gets the job in the long term because he will have to change. He will have to stick to a system. He will have to get rid of players. He'll have to bring players in. So you can't... it's PR, really. It's performance and results. And we're getting both of those. We're getting results and we're getting performance. Because performance for me... I remember Gary Neville saying this and I didn't agree. When we played against Bournemouth and we drew, and he said, I can live with that because I was entertained. I was like, no, I can't. I can't live with that because it's a draw. And yes, it was entertaining, but it's a draw. I need to win. So today's result was a result, but it was performance because Fulham played really good. I don't begrudge Fulham pushing us to the finishing line. They were a good team. It's not like we've played bloody Wolves and we played shit and won 3-2. Fulham are a good team. I respect Fulham. You have my respect. You scored a bloody good goal as well, but we still won. That's performance because people think performance is turning up, dominating somebody and beating them 4-0, and sometimes it is. But sometimes performance is playing... You are not going to be that. We were never that under Sir Alex Ferguson. We never won every game 4-0. You would play someone like Bayern Munich or a good Arsenal side and it would be close. So performance is actually a game like today, where you win in front of the Stretford end in the 90-something minute and you win a game that you know you deserve to win, but it was close. That's performance. It's result, but it's also performance because it was a good team that we played against and we had to ask questions of ourselves. We had to bounce back and we scored 3 legitimate goals. So performance and results we're getting in the last 3 games. The vision ultimately comes from the club. Carrick can't give us a vision as an interim. He can give us a glimpse, but he can't give us the vision. Bruno can't give us the vision because I don't know whether he's going to be here next season. Casemiro was man of the match, but he can't be part of the vision because he won't be here next season. So we're very much living hand to mouth, game to game, but we are getting PR. We are getting performance and results, and that's the most we can get at the moment. And credit to Michael Carrick because that's what we're getting. What do you think of Carlos Queiroz as manager? Great character. Oh, shut up, Doma. What are you talking about? Get to bed. If we get Champions League football and appoint the right manager, is getting fully back feasible, even with this terrible board, says Tyler. Well, I don't want to talk about that too much because you know my stance. I don't think there's a way back with this ownership, which is why I think the protests are important and they need to carry on. I think it's easy to be enjoying 3 wins in a row and optimistic about Champions League football, but still say this board is clueless and deserves to go. We've had 20 years of the Glazers, it's been terrible. We've had 2 years of Ineos, it's been a joke. So we can still be that. There shouldn't be just because we're winning games, we haven't bought anybody in the January transfer window. It's disgusting. That's not backing your manager. Michael Carrick should have been backed. Ruben Amorim should have been backed. It's disgusting. If anything, when we're winning games like that, just getting over the line, and then the board are going, no, you're not having anything, that makes it even worse. So look, we do need regime change. We're not going to get it. But the summer transfer window will be very difficult because even if... I saw somebody say this the other day. What if Bruno goes? We've only got Mainoo left. Agate's not good enough. Casemiro's going. If Bruno goes, we've only got Mainoo left. That's it. One mid. We're going to have to give Bruno a pay rise. We can't just have Mainoo. Can't just have Mainoo in the midfield in the summer and have to buy 4 players. So there's a huge amount of work to do in that midfield. We're not prepared for it at all. Huge amount of work. And that will be the biggest thing. Defensively, I think we're okay. Yoro Heaven, Delitz to come back. Left back is an issue. Luke Shaw is not quick enough to do that job anymore. He's steady. He's okay. But, I mean, Delo looked so much better than Luke Shaw going forward today because he's quick. So I think we need a left back now. You could argue we still need a right back. We might need a winger. And we certainly need 2 or 3 midfielders. So there's a lot of work to do in the summer. I don't want to wander too far ahead because we're not there yet. But what I would say, and everybody who watches That's Football knows this, Newcastle are really good at this. They get in the Champions League comfortably when they're not in Europe. And then they go into the Champions League and they can't get back in the top 5 because they haven't got the squad for it. next season, I would be observant to the fact that will we build a squad in the summer that's good enough to be competitive in the Champions League and get top 5? It's really difficult to do that. And I don't know whether we have the funds to do that or not. I would say if you bring in Thomas Tuchel or Luis Enrique, those funds will be there. I would say if you get Michael Carrick or Glasner, they won't be. I think the reputation of the manager will probably go hand in hand with the budget. If we go for someone like Enrique or Tuchel, I would expect there to be a big budget available. If we go for somebody like Carrick or Glasner, there probably isn't a big budget. So that doesn't mean go for Tuchel over Carrick. I'm just saying, if we go for them, it probably means we've got a big budget. If we go for Glasner or Carrick or someone, we probably haven't. So it'll be interesting to see, but it's way too far off in the future. I was worried about a drop-off, but got proved wrong, says United. No, I mean, look, I wouldn't park that drop-off yet. I really wouldn't. It's very early days. Like, Ollie won 8 in a row. We're not even halfway through that yet. There are still 14 games to go. Now, if we get to 10 wins in a row, I don't think we're going to drop off. But there's still there's a lot to go. And we were 3 minutes away from people moaning today. We were. People, I think in the match, somebody said to me, what would you have done in the match reaction if we'd drawn that game with Fulham? I think I'd still be saying now, who was that? I don't think I would have had anything bad to say about the performance, really. I'd have been disappointed, but I think I would have said, Fulham played really well. That's an absolute worldie. I thought we'd done enough. Unfortunately, he hasn't got the players on the bench. With Casemiro on, we're going to win that 2-0. When he goes off, it ends up 2-2. I think I'd have been in shock. I don't think I'd have been critical of Carrick or the players. I really wouldn't. The only thing that would have worried me was I think Sesko would have got a load of shit for missing the chance at 2-0, which would have been very unjustified. So, yeah, I think it's... there's a lot of work still to be done. And I go back to what I said before. Have we got the tools to do it? It's going to be risky. Ryan says, I'd take Harry Wilson on a free. Do you think we should get Camavinga or Tchouameni in the summer, says Mac? I don't think we'll get either, but I'd take Camavinga, although I think he's injury prone. Would you take Marco Silva, says Rory? I tell you what, I'm very impressed with him. I like his style of play. I like the fact that he gets his fullbacks forward. I like the fact that he likes his wingers to get at people. I like the way he moves the ball around. I mean, it's probably the worst thing to say, but it's the first time I've really looked at Fulham and gone, I get it with Marco Silva. He's a really good coach. He plays really good football. And it's probably quite similar to the way we used to play under Sir Alex. Like, it's not, but it is. Like, there is a back four. There are fullbacks that get forward. There are wingers that like to get at people. They move the ball around really well. But I don't know whether you... I mean, I'm not going to say Marco Silva should be the next Manchester United manager. But I'd take Marco Silva over Glasner. Yeah, I would. I'll go with that. Everyone smash the like. I love this community, says Josh. The announcers in America said Casemiro's sub due to a knock, surely alone. I don't think it was anything sinister with Casemiro. What we need Casemiro to do is activate Willian mode. I said this in the game today. Let's stay positive. So with Casemiro, what we need to happen is what we call the Willian effect. Remember when COVID hit and we came back in the June and Willian was out of contract with Chelsea at the end of the season and he played like bloody Messi for 2 months. He was untouchable because he was out of contract. So we call it the Willian mode because it's like your contract's coming to the end and you start playing like a bloody boss because you want everyone to sign you. Hopefully Casemiro is going to do that. Because the alternative is you activate Trent mode, which is, I want to go to Real Madrid. I know I'm going to Real Madrid. I don't want to get injured. I'm just going to go through the motions. So we need Casemiro to keep that up today for the rest of the season because I did read something about Casemiro could start to protect himself a little bit, but I don't think he's that sort of person. Jamie Carragher just said on Sky, it's now fair to say the football hasn't left him. Well, let's hope it's not a jinx because It's true. Like, I think some people did write him off a little bit too quick. He can still be got at, though. I don't like the total flip-flop. Casemiro is brilliant today, deserves the credit, but I also saw 2 or 3 occasions where Smith Rowe ran off him and he hasn't got the legs. So that's still going to be a problem if we're not careful. But find me a CDM that can score, that's so dominant in the air. Like, it's such a threat. It really is. Ahmad was tired by 80 minutes. Should have put Lacey on. Great win, says Yash. We should let the players select the next coach, says United Migs. Absolutely not. And hi Mark, I got my hand on a Lego Old Trafford. I'm building it during the show. Great win today, says Porf. I've got mine. I haven't built it yet. Domas Scholes, thank you. Gifted 5 memberships. You're a legend, sir. Stiller should be a priority. He also has a release clause. I really like the idea of Stiller, Craig. It would be great. I'm happy no one's talking about the system anymore. It's good to see players expressing themselves and happy. Loved how Xerxes was happy for Sesko too, says the K-Stone. 1-year contract extension for Casemiro now, says Mr. Beaumont. And a football genius once said dropping Casemiro for Agate is a good call and we should buy Gallagher because he's better than what we have, which is Casemiro. What a comic, says EG. Don't remember that saying that at all, mate. But, you know, as I said, I still think Gallagher would have been a good signing. If you didn't watch the game today against Man City, that's not my problem. And I'd rather have Conor Gallagher than sitting here with 24 hours to go doing absolutely nothing, praying that Casemiro and Mainoo don't get injured. If we get Champions League football and appoint the right manager, is getting fully better. I've done that one. Thank you very much. The Sesko winner doesn't happen without Bruno. I can't believe some people don't rate him. Fans wanted him gone last summer to Saudi, blaming him too. No. We're all playing this game of genius in hindsight now, aren't we? And you're talking to the wrong person because I'll deliver the receipts. I did the poll on that, and the poll was basically sell Bruno to Saudi if he's going to be playing in the midfield. If he's playing as a number 10, don't sell him. Where's he been playing for the last few games as a number 10? So let's not start saying people said sell Bruno as a 10 because they didn't. Thoughts on Lemen's insane performance as Rajaf? He's done very well. He's getting a lot of credit and he deserves it. Maguire and Casemiro are cheat code at the back post, says Wakas. Thank you very much for that. Okay, look, I was only going to do a short show, but you've kept me busy, so thank you very much for that. Let's see what happens tomorrow. It's transfer deadline day tomorrow. Unlikely is what I'm being told, but let's see what happens. As I say, it's only an opinion, but I think it's disgusting that we're sat here in this situation, looking at that league table, looking at 3 wins from 3, and we're going, we are 1 or 2 injuries away from decimation in that midfield, and we're sitting there going, we're not going to do anything. I can't believe we didn't sign a midfielder in the summer. In January, I thought it would be an absolute nailed-on necessity. And we're sat here and I'm going, if Casemiro or Mainoo get injured, I literally don't know what we're going to do. And further to that, we literally need them to play for 90 minutes every game. Because if you take them off, it all falls apart. 24 hours. Will they do it or will they gamble? Let's wait and see. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Stay safe, smash a like on the video, and I'll speak to you tomorrow. Take care.